So Donald Trump is absolutely crashing in the polls. Check this out. Trump's approval rating drops to 36%, new second term low. Basically, people don't like him. And I'm the same as you. When you look at these numbers, you're just like, who are these 36%? I'm surprised it's even that high, right? I'm sure they're thinking the exact same thing I am. I expect this to keep dropping because there's no way that anything in the Trump administration is sustainable. It's absolutely bat crap crazy daily. Benny Johnson is telling you, oh, Trump's all saying you're going to win, right? President Trump says if the story is properly told, Republicans should win the midterms in record numbers. I'm the affordability president. And then Trump goes on to say, your drug prices are falling at levels near never seen before, 500%, 600%, 700%, and more. And yes, it's stupid, right? That's the whole point. It's dumb. And you know, that's why his poll numbers are sinking. He's absolutely flailing. And what else are we doing today? I guess we're possibly going to attack Venezuela. When your poll numbers are down and no one likes you, you try to start a war to distract people and theoretically rally around the flag. That's what's going on. Let me show you. This is another thing going on. This is ICE. And essentially what you're going to see in this video is one of the ICE agents is waving around a gun at someone because someone's saying something he doesn't like. So there's a guy with a gun there. And someone's like, oh, I don't like you, blah, blah, and push to start just pointing guns. And that right there, that image right there of the guy just kind of freaking out and just start pointing your gun at people, that's a kind of what's word to say, like a good representation of who these Trump people are. It's like, honestly, it's people who are hotheads, incompetent, to start waving their gun whenever they, get upset. It's exactly what you don't want, right? And I think you guys know this stuff with all the ICE people. It's like that kind of thing. And you see it in Trump's language, you see it in their people, and we have to call the stuff out on this thing, saying this is Trump right here. To all airlines, pilots, drug dealers, and human traffickers, please consider the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela to be closed in its entirety. Thank you for your attention. This matter, President Donald J. Trump. So the question is, are we going to attack Venezuela? Is that the plan? Effectively, I guess we're saying it's a blockade. We're already destroying boats down there. Hagseth is under investigation effectively from Congress. They're asking for more info on what's going on. And now we also have protests in New York City, which is going on just right now. Let me show you this. This is watch a little bit in New York. So basically, they're blocking the parking garage that ICE is in. Listen to this person describe it here.
I'm currently on the corner of Howard and Center, where hundreds of people gathered earlier today to block a massive planned raid by ICE agents. They were going to, according to sources, have 600 agents flood the streets of New York City, specifically targeting vendors on Canal Street. Somehow word got out and people caught wind, and they gathered here at this parking garage, which is controlled by the federal government, which is currently filled with ICE vehicles, and stopped vehicles from being able to enter and from being able to exit. There are an unknown number, at least 20 who were observed, ICE agents currently stuck inside their own parking garage as people continue to blockade and protest.
So I just wanted to show you that, and then she's talking about how they're starting to arrest people also. The reason why I'm showing this stuff, though, is that you're not alone. There are other people opposing the stuff that Trump is doing. He's sinking in the polls, and now he wants to, at the moment, blockade Venezuela. Are we going to attack? There's been reports that they've been talking about it. If you look at the Trumpers, I want to give you different points of view on this. People like Nick, again, when Trump people like Benny, he'll celebrate that there's, fighting and arrests. But this is what the Trump's world want. This is Trump's America. They want everyone fighting all the time. I'll show you a little bit. You get the idea. And so Nick all day will post, oh yeah, arrest everybody and blah, 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 right? It's essentially what it is. It's like, it's just chaos. And, and then you look at what Miller's wife is saying, and it's just a clown show over at the Republicans. You'll see. Watch this.
You are married to Stephen Miller,
I am.
so you are the envy of all women. What is that like?
The sexual matador, right?
What is it like being married to such a sexual matador?
He is an incredibly inspiring man who gets me going in the morning with his speeches being like, let's start the day. I am going to defeat the left and we are going to win. He wakes up the day ready to carry out the mission that President Trump was elected to do.
I think.
And what's interesting, there's a couple things I noticed in that clip. She's like really blinking her eyes right before she talks at the end there.
Ready to carry out the mission that President Trump was elected to do.
I think.
You see it. The people are lying. Plus, Jesse Waters keeps looking off the producer / teleprompter. It's all scripted. I mean,
what is that like?
The sexual matador, right?
What is it like being married to such a sexual matador?
The people who support Trump at this point, they're just all actors, because any sane or rational person can easily see Trump's in a tailspin and you don't want to follow it. And also, the American people can see it, and you can see it in the polls. I mean, 36% approval is quite low. And again, I think it's going to keep going lower. What else you got here? You got the whole Hague-Set thing. This is from Vote Vets. They say, this is why none of these unauthorized strikes should have ever happened without the proper debate and vote in Congress. The whole administration has gone rogue, and legal issues are piling up on top of each other. Yeah, it is. I mean, every day it's like, what other, bonkers thing can Trump and his people do? That's why I show you guys this stuff. And also, I know, just reassure you all the time, you're not alone. I can see it. You can see it. This is one of Trump's people, because I want to show you like their defense. And the Eric guy, he's tweeting out how Trump, I guess, is out golfing. And I think that might be Brett Baer from Fox News on the right there. And I think maybe a professional golfer on the left, possibly. I don't know who the guy in the middle is. If you guys can let me know if you know. But that looks like Brett Baer to me. That's the Fox News. So you can kind of see how they're literally hanging out together there. Now, the question is, does that prove that Trump is healthy? Because this is what Eric would say. Now, President Trump just posted a picture, proof he's in incredible shape for 79. The left will not like this. Imagine going through what Donald Trump has and still having this much energy. He's a machine. I mean, maybe if standing, proves that he's healthy, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. And this is what I do. I just look at this stuff. Someone who tweets out 605% discounts or whatever, it's nonsense. But this is what the White House puts out. They don't want you to believe anything. And so they say, okay, America's confidence in mass media is edged down. And so what's interesting, which is true. I look at the Gallup and say, okay, I can see that. But the thing is with this stuff is like, if they like the poll, they'll show it to you. If they don't like the poll, they'll call it fake news, right? So basically they want you to say, don't believe anything in the news. That's essentially what they want you to say. And this is a good example of something that I look at the numbers because I think it's probably accurate. Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs says 70% of Americans oppose the U.S. taking military action in Venezuela. Listen to the American people, President Trump. And I was actually looking at this. This is coming from CBS. And basically, I'll just tell you, has the Trump administration clearly explained U.S. position on military action in Venezuela? 24% say clearly explained, 76% not done that yet. So, is there any reason to go to Venezuela? I think if you ask the regular American person, this is the numbers that you're going to get. Another one, military action in Venezuela. Does Trump need to explain his decisions, right? Needs to explain. So you can see Democrats, 97, Independents, 86, even Republicans, 64. Like, explain what are you doing down there, right? Doesn't need to explain. 3% Democrats, 40% Independents, 36% Republicans. So basically, Americans want you to explain what are you doing in Venezuela, and I just don't think people are going to go with it. I don't think it's anything crazy to say, and they haven't explained it. What else is Trump up to today? I guess we're going to New Orleans. It says the federal government will target New Orleans soon as its next city to ramp up immigration enforcement. Sources with knowledge of plans told ABC News. Now, there's multiple things you can say about this. I'll just say this. I'll try to make it really clear. Every time you send your ICE people to new cities and there's suddenly a bunch of headlines of, all this, I'll just say this chaos. That's the easiest way to say it, chaos everywhere, right? And so you can focus on each individual story, look at this person was, falsely arrested or wrongly deported or, any number of things. And then while you're focusing on that, which you do want to mention, I don't want to, play lie to it, but then you ignore all of the white collar crime, which is big, big deal. And something I mentioned several times in the channel, and I want you to just think about this through. And, imagine someone steals your entire retirement. Just think about that. Your entire retirement gone, right? Or someone, puts in some sort of regulation that just absolutely crushes you in your home, be it insurance or be it the way, your houses are appraised or how they do property taxes or any number of things. Or maybe your energy, goes up through the roof or your healthcare costs explode, whatever, right? But just some sort of situation where you're really financially destroyed for any number of reasons. And in the USA, you can go bankrupt from medical costs, right? The news, though, will get you focused on basically street level type of incidents. And they'll say, oh, look at this person, like the Nick guy, all this, show all this stuff. Look at this person arrested here, arrested there. And then you start to ignore the white collar stuff, which frankly, I'm just telling you guys, like if someone wipes out your retirement, just for example, or your healthcare costs skyrocket, that's going to have a major, major impact on your life. And I want to say it's all important to track everything, but it is a distraction to ignore the financial stuff and that kind of stuff. And that's sort of what they want you to do. Or I also want to show you this. So President Trump's redistricting push and voting rights cases in Texas and Louisiana could wipe out nearly a third of the 62-member Congressional Black Caucus. So basically, the way Trump's people want it, they want less representation for people of color and less representation for minority groups. It's nothing shocking here, but that's what the plan has been all along, and that's who the Trump people are. I will show you, though, what they're saying, because I do want to show you everything. So Fox News, they're going to run this story all day. Basically, there was a guy on TikTok, looks like he's an Afghan national. He may have made a threatening video on TikTok to maybe, attack people in Texas or something like that. And then I think that we arrest this guy. It says court records show, so he was arrested for making a TikTok video. Do I defend threats? No, not at all. I don't. But what I will say about this kind of stuff, the question all comes down to, like, do you believe one person represents an entire group? And that's how they do it over at Fox. They'll find whatever story of, a certain kind of person they don't like, and then they'll try to make it seem like all of them are bad. And if it's a story of a person that looks like them, right? I'll just make it in most simple terms. If a white person makes a TikTok video that does the same thing, they won't cover that story, only if someone else does. So again, I don't defend this particular person. I don't defend threatening videos or anything like that. But you also get in the issues of where if, say a Republican type person made a whatever threatening video, or the President of the United States threatens people, right? They'll remain silent on that stuff. And I think in general, we all need to, calm down the rhetoric on terms of violence. I don't call for or condone any type of violence. I want to make sure that's clear on that. Because if you want to move forward as a people, we need to be honest about all of this stuff and do things the right way. This is coming from the Washington Post also. The head of the Senate Armed Services Committee has vowed, quote, vigorous oversight following a post report that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered the killing of all crew members during the first U.S. strike on suspected drug smugglers in the Caribbean. And effectively, then Congress is now after Hegseth, demanding more evidence, more, people come forward, more video, whatever, and we'll see. I think this is really damaging for them. I talked about this before in the last video, but there's a lot of things that Trump is doing that are really damaging, and they're going to try to distract you with whatever, right? Be it the person who made the TikTok video, or be it with, trying to close airspace in Venezuela and try to cause something there. But the reality is, guys, his poll numbers are absolutely sinking, and he's underwater on pretty much every issue. So that's my thoughts on this. I'd like to hear yours, and I'll catch you all in the next video.